Hey y'all! So we are now on part 3 of our JavaScript iPhone calculator series. So I know we've been on a roll lately. We've been learning a lot of things about HTML5. We've been learning about Tailwind CSS. We've been learning. So let's go ahead and get started. If you have not seen it yet, if you're starting on this video, make sure you go back to the HTML and the CSS portion, because we will not be focused on that today. We'll be focused on nothing but the iPhone X JavaScript portion. So let me give some background about me. If you don't know who I am, my name is Lenora. I've been a designer for about 4 years. I work for a company in San Francisco. And so far, I am loving it. Basically, I am the type of designer who loves to take my designs from just static pixels and turn them into functional code. I think that's like a powerhouse of a skill to have. And I want to continue on with this skill. I want to continue growing this skill. I feel like it makes me a better designer. And of course, I would love to take you on the journey. So thank you all for joining. If you are not subscribed, make sure you press that subscribe button. Also, there's going to be more videos like this coming out soon, so make sure you press the notification bell and stay tuned. So before we get started, I want to make sure I shout out a few people. I wrote down their names, and I want to shout them out because I feel like when people shout you out or give you big ups or support you, you should definitely support them as well. And it doesn't take much to support anyone, it's free. So let me show you their profiles because I definitely want you to know exactly who I'm talking about. So the first person that I want to show some love to is the Justice Devon. She definitely talked about me in her stories, and I am blown away by this bio here. So I'm like, all right now. I would love to get to know her more, of course, and yeah, you all should definitely follow her as well. My girl Burger with a side of code. This is another person who's been following me and holding me down for a very long time. We've actually met in person, and she's an awesome person. So yes, definitely follow her. And thank you for the support. Also, Trey Lifestyle, or the Trey Lifestyle. So this is another person, coder. Love him. Definitely met him before. He's down here in South Florida, but yeah, definitely follow him. Thank you so much for the support. One more person, well, a few more people. I'm definitely making sure everyone gets their shout out. So we have Dang He Wild. He also supports me. Let me go follow him back. Yeah, definitely follow him as well. We have WOC and STEM. Another amazing profile to follow. Dang, I didn't know I didn't follow this channel back. Yeah, definitely follow them. We have Tech Catalyst. Amazing individuals, all about tech. Follow them. Oh my gosh, I clearly don't follow anyone. Follow them. And then STEM Media. STEM Media is like literally my favorite. Here. I definitely follow them. So STEM Media has a lot of live videos every Sunday, which is definitely coming up soon. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And then last but not least, I am Naomi Thomas. She has also been supporting me quite a bit. So thank you so much for the support. So now that we've gotten all the support out the way, let's jump right into our JavaScript calculator. So like I said before, we left off on the HTML and CSS. For me, I just feel like you do want to see more about that, go back to the previous videos because I am not covering that in this video. We're strictly on the the JavaScript portion of this. And yeah, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is head on to our, let's take this away. so we have more space. Head on to our index.html file, and then we're gonna create our script.js. So we're gonna head down here right before the body area finishes. We're gonna add our script tag. Okay, put our src as script.js. Then we're gonna close that. So one thing I love about VS Code, it allows you to do a lot of shortcuts. So if we press Command click, I don't know what it is in Windows, so sorry, but if you press Command click, it'll ask you a little question at the very top saying, unable to open script.js. Do you want to create that file? So whenever you don't create a file yet, it will actually create it for you. So perfect. So now we have our script file. It's associated with our index.html, and now it is time to get started. So when you think about a calculator, one thing, let me give an example. So let me open up a calculator here. So when you think about a calculator, you think about the user intent, and you think about how they're going to be using the calculator. So when you first open up a calculator, what you usually do is you type in a number. So let's say I type in 2. So that's my very first number. I type in 2. The second thing I'm going to do is type in an operator or tap an operator. It's either plus, minus, multiplication, or division. So I can put plus, and from there, I've already clicked the plus. Sorry for all the glare. And then I'll type in a second number. Let's say it's 3. And then I'll press enter. And then I'll get a result. So the very first thing you do is you input a number. You press an operator. You input another number. You press the enter or equal. And then you end up with a result. So that is the path that we're going to go down with this JavaScript, I guess, journey here. So I'm going to put step 1. What we're going to do is identify and mimic user intent. Okay? So like I said before, when you're thinking about this, the first thing a user does, you could put user intent here. The first thing a user does is they type a number. They choose an operator. They input another number. Oh, let me bump this up just in case you can't see. All right. Maybe that's too big. Okay. Okay. Input another number. And then the final thing you do, well, second to final thing you do, press the equal sign and get a result. So that is the path that we're going down. What I want to make sure I drive home is we are creating a JavaScript file for the happy path. The happy path. Not the edge cases, not these little small issues that usually calculators have. We are focused on the happy path. So that happy path is this. Let me put happy path if I can type. Our happy path is something like this. 2 plus 5 equals 7. 7. Just like that. We are not doing anything outside of that. We're not doing any kind of huge equations. We're just focused on the happy path, a path that people usually use when you go and do a calculator equation. So one of the paths that we're not going to do is those edge cases like this. We are not going to be focused on 2 plus 5 times 7, take away like 1700, and that equals 1663. We are not going to be focused on that path that has multiple numbers or input values. We are not focused on that. We're going to be here all day if we attempt to try to figure that out. This is just for the happy path. That's it. So let me put not doing this right next to that, because look, don't come here for that. That can be your homework. That can be maybe in a part 2 of this video, but well, part 4 at this point. But we are not worried about edge cases. Let me get me some water before we continue. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, now that you all know what this tutorial is going to be about, let's go. Hey, Steve. Thank you for coming. All right, so when I first start anything, I start off with the variables that I'm going to be needing. So the variables that I believe I'm going to need is the previous entry, which is the first number that you type. I'm going to need an operator. I'm going to need the second number, and I'll call this current entry. I'm going to need the result. So let's create our variables. So let previous entry equal 0. Well, you know, let's not make it equal anything right now. Let's just make our variable. So let previous entry, let operator, we're gonna need that, let current entry, and then we're gonna get our result. Part 4, geesh. All right, just gonna wear me out here. Hey, Sean. All right, so we have all of our variables. This is all the variables that we're going to need for now. We're not going to need anything else. So what I want to do, as soon as I create my variables, I want to set them to the most default state it's going to be in. So for my previous state, for the previous entry, I'm going to make it equal 0. Starting off fresh. There won't be any kind of extraness to this. It'll just be you're starting off at 0. Your operator, you're going to start that off at null. Can't type. Had too much coffee and now I'm jittery. So your operator is going to start off with null, because you never know exactly what you're going to use. You never know if it's going to be a multiplication or a subtraction or division. You don't know yet. So start it off with null. Current entry, going to start it off at a 0. And then, of course, your result will always be starting off at 0 as well. So now that we got our first step in, we have our variables, we know exactly how we're going to be creating the user intent. The next thing that we're going to do is focus on part 2, which is grabbing all the elements that we need. So step 2, select all elements needed on the screen. Wow, I need to wash out this coffee. I am jittery. And that wasn't even the coffee that I like. They didn't have any cold brew. So I had to end up with iced coffee. And I don't even like iced coffees. Anyway, all right, so step 2. And thank you, Sean. Thank you for giving me some kudos. So step 2, select all elements needed on the screen, right? So if you look back at our calculator here, the elements that we're definitely going to need, we're going to need all these buttons. We're going to need every last button that you see. The second thing that we're going to need is this display area. So let me show you how to grab elements. So we're going to put let display. So we're going to actually create a variable called display. Yes, I do, because yeah, this iced coffee didn't do anything but make me jittery. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the cold brew would make me even more jittery, but I would rather the cold brew than the iced coffee. All right, so let display equal document query selector. This is usually how you select elements in JavaScript. So now, of course, a lot of people that use jQuery, but no, this is pure vanilla JavaScript that we're going to be using. So you're going to learn how to do it for real, for real. And then we're going to use display. Uh-oh, I didn't put it in, oops. All right, so let's save that. Let display equals document.query selector display. Now, if you go back into your HTML, you will see where we've already, where's the input? Yeah, so we've already created an ID of display. So it already knows that, or it's waiting to be grabbed, basically. So it already knows that this display exists, and all we're doing is selecting it from our JavaScript. So display is now selected. Second thing we're gonna do is select all of our buttons. So let buttons equal document.query selector all. Okay, I'm gonna explain the difference. All right, so query selector all selects all of the items that have buttons in it. Like, notice we did not use an ID. We used a class, because classes allow you to do to select, you know, more things. IDs are just for one element, it should be, and classes are for multiple. So we are using a btn class name. We put let buttons equals document.query selector all with the class name of btn. So we look back at our buttons. We have quite a bit of buttons. We have a lot. We have a lot of buttons, and all of them have the btn class. So now all of them are selected. When all of them are selected, they'll be scooped up into an array, and we'll have to iterate over that array in order to, I guess, put some functionality on them. And this will all make sense in a few. So let's keep going. So now that we've selected all of our elements, let's go ahead and go to step 3. Step 3 will be to create a function that listens to key presses and lets us know the type of key pressed. All right. So remember I said we're going to be selecting these values in order to create some functionality behind them. And right now, none of these work. So if I press on them, there's no event triggering an actual event. There's nothing saying, hey, I clicked on this event, or I clicked on this button, do something. There's nothing to let it know to do something. So we're creating that functionality now. So the very first thing that we will need to do is create some functionality behind all the buttons. So here are our calculator buttons, and we have quite a bit. We're going to actually create some functionality behind what happens when you click each, but for right now we're just creating the actual click event. So we're gonna use a for each method in order to I forget that these live chat things come up, so it always distracts me. But hi, how are you? Welcome. All right, so back to what I was doing. All right, so yeah, you're going to be iterating over all the buttons. So remember when I said we're going to be using a query selector all? When we use the query selector all, it creates an array. And the only way to iterate over an array is to use either a for method or some type of loop. We're going to be using the for each method. So buttons, not capital, buttons dot for each. And for each button, one plural, singular, we're going to add an event listener, just like so. And we're going to be adding a click event listener. And we're going to create a function. And that function will do the following. First, we'll need to create some type of variable that listens to the button clicked, or I guess who sets the actual button that we're going to be using. So we're going to put let button clicked equals this dot inner text. So as soon as you click on a button, it will let you know what the inner text is, and that inner text will be found in the index.html file. And you can see all the inner text here. 7, 8, 9, X. It will explain exactly what you've clicked on, or tell you what you clicked on. So in order to see if this works or not, we're going to, well, first, let's do this. Let's put, we're still going to use that display. So display is up here. Remember, we already grabbed it. So our display.value will equal button clicked. So whenever you click on a button, I would like our display to show that button. So if I click on 2, I want it to reveal a 2 right here in the display area. And in order to test this out, we're going to create a console.log. And then we're going to log out this message here. So it'll be you clicked, right? btn click, just like that. All right, let's put our ending there, refresh this, open up our console. Uh-oh, I see my video went away. Let me see what happened. Let me see. Technical difficulties. I hope it didn't go dead, because if so, then now we have a bigger problem. Let me see. Okay. 1 second, y'all. Let me get my charger that I bought that I did not plug in. So be right back. Clearly, now I already got to stop this. Oh my gosh. All right. Now I gotta set everything back up again. Whew. I am hot now. That, oh, Lord. Anyway, let me know if y'all see my video again. I did buy a continuous battery not too long ago. So thank goodness it was already sitting here. I just had to plug it in real quick. So let me know if y'all see my video. Let me know if I'm back. Let me know if you can see everything again. And I know it's gonna take a little while for you to even catch up to that, but whatever. Some kind of delay. All right, cool. So Sean said, we back. Yes, we are back. Ooh, okay, y'all. I'm not used to like live streaming or all this stuff, so I'm learning to always have the little backup batteries and all that stuff. But now I have a continuous battery. It's on. It's plugged in. Whew. Okay, let's get started. Let me get some water. Lord. I'm already freaking out. Okay. I'm already nervous. Now my computer and my technology wants to go out. All right, so where were we? Okay, cool. So we were clicking on this button here. All right, let me move this up so you can actually see the console. Because I'm in the way. All right, cool. So if you go on, let me see, let me make sure I refresh it. And let me go right back to like explain what we did. So we iterated over all the buttons and we added an event listener, a click method or a click event to each button. And from there, I created a variable called button clicked just so we can grab the inner text. And we're gonna make that inner text equal the display value. And that display value is up here. Whenever I click on a button, I want it to reveal the button that we clicked on. Just the way calculators work today. So here, if I use my calculator here, if I press 2, it shows in the display area. So I want to do the same exact thing, basically. So if I go to our console and I click 2, boom, it should show. It should show you clicked 2. If I click on different buttons, you clicked AC, and it should show in the display area. No matter what I click on, it should show us exactly what we've clicked on, okay? So now that that part works, it's time to move on to the next thing. And we can go ahead on and comment this out because we won't need it anymore. Unless, you know, we need to debug something later on, but for right now, we don't need it. So let's finish this off. So the next step is step 4. Yeah, we left off on step 3. Okay, cool. So next step is step 4. So step 4 focuses on defining the functionality for each button. So let me put step 4. Define the functionality for each button and explain how it works. Now this is going to be kind of long. So bear with me. Bear with all the long drawn out process that we're going to go through in a few seconds. We're not going to test it until our entire if statement is done, because it's hard to really test it without all the functionality being in there. So let's go through and write out everything we need. Be mindful now, this is going to be long. It's going to be a lot of writing. So be ready. All right, so the very first button that we have is the AC button. If you notice here, we can remove our console. I don't think we're gonna need it. But yeah, the very first button is the AC. So we're gonna put an if statement in order to create some functionality behind the AC button. So if button clicked triple equals AC, what we're gonna do, let's put some space between that. What we're gonna do is make our current entry equal 0. Okay? So our current entry, whatever we just clicked on, let's say I clicked on 2 and I press AC, it will reverse all that and put a 0. So just like it works in the real calculator, if I press 2 and then I press the AC button on here, just says C, it goes straight to 0. So that's basically what we're mimicking. So the next one will be an else if. Else if button clicked, triple equals plus minus the whole negative sign thing. What we're gonna do is take our current entry, whatever we just typed in, and we're gonna multiply it by -1. So if you pressed 1 and you put you press the plus minus sign, then it would add a negative to it. If you press again, it'll go back to positive. So that's what we are trying to create there. So now we have 2 buttons out the way. We have our AC out the way, and we have our plus minus out the way. Let's skip the percent sign, because I think we should do this a little bit later. Let's move on to our decimal down here. So else if button clicked, triple equals decimal. So for our decimal, all we really want to do is append a decimal to whatever the display area is. And remember, our display area will reveal our current entry anyway. So we can put current entry plus equals decimal. So that's all we'll need to do here. One thing I also want to add to our AC is to make sure the result also equals 0. Because remember, up here we have our result. So let's make sure that our result also equals 0. Let's make sure our current entry equals 0. So now we have our AC done, our AC button done, we have our plus minus button done, we have our decimal button done. The next one that we're going to focus on is the operators. So let's specify what our multiplication, let's specify what our multiplication is going to do. So btn clicked. Now to me, honestly, this is simple. I feel like anyone could do this piece right here. So button clicked, triple equals, and we're going to go for our x. When you have an x, what I want our equation or our document or a program to do is make our previous entry equal current entry. We're going to also make our operation sign equal the little asterisk, because that's usually how our programs do it. And then our current entry will equal empty string. So if you ever used, I got to keep going and showing you the actual calculator just to show you how it works. But if you ever use the calculator, you put 2, I'm always using 2, but 2 times. If you press the times, it never actually reveals the actual X in the display area. It keeps it at 2. And then you'll press another number. Let's say it's 3. And then you press enter. And then it will give you a result. It never reveals what you actually clicked on. The only thing that it does is it highlights the actual button color. It makes it white. It makes the text orange. However, it doesn't show in the display area what you clicked on. So we're going to make that current entry equal empty string. And then for our previous entry, we're going to make that as our current entry. So like I said before, you'll click on or you'll type in a number. And then what you'll do is press the multiplication sign. And once you press the multiplication sign, I want that previous number, which is 2, to be our current entry. All right, so let's keep going. Let me get some water because I'm already thirsty as hell. All right, so the next one that we're gonna do is gonna be very, very similar to that one. Elseif, button clicked equals the decimal. Let me go and get the decimal because I don't remember how to write it. Where's the decimal? Here. All right, equals the decimal. All right, so from here, what I would like it to do is the same thing as this one, make our previous entry the current entry. So if you press 2 and then you press an operation, I want it to save that number 2 as our previous entry. Because remember when we were creating our function here, it goes previous entry, operator, current entry equals the result. So previous entry is now going to be equal to current entry. And then what we want to do is set the operator. Operator. Oh, I didn't mean operator. Operation here. I mean operator. No, that was right. Operation. Operation. Set that equal to division. And then we're going to do current entry empty string because we are never going to reveal what we clicked. We can make that the same for consistency's sake. All right, so now that we have the, what is it, multiplication and the division all figured out, is that a lowercase? Okay. Let's move on to actually setting if something is a number or not. So we have these numbers. We have 7, 8, 9, 4, 5. Okay, we have numbers. Then we have operators. So we'll need to figure out the difference between an operator and a number. So I'm going to put Elseif is a number, button clicked. It's going to do a different thing. So if it's a number, let's go ahead and just write out just the else if, because right now this is going to be like a function. And if we go ahead and write out our second else if, which is an operator, is operator, button clicked. From here, spelled it wrong. From here, we're going to be adding in some functionality, but I also want to make sure that we keep in mind that we'll need to create these functions. So before I forget, I want to just create these functions now because I do not want to forget to create the functions. And then next thing you know, I don't remember why it didn't work. So let's create these functions. So I don't even remember what step this is. What is this? Step 5. Yeah. Step 5. We're going to go ahead and set whether something is a number or not. So we're going to create a function to teach our JavaScript program what numbers are. All right, so when it comes to our number, function is a number and it's going to take in a value. What we're going to do is just use that as that is nan, but just reverse it basically to let us know if something is a number or not. So remember this little what is it called? The exclamation point in front of the method does the reverse. So it's is not basically. And this is already is nan. So what it's going to do is tell us that it is a number, in fact. I know that's kind of confusing, but basically is nan tells us it's not a number. We're going to add this exclamation right in front, and the exclamation will reverse what it usually does, and it will tell us that it is a number and instead of it's not a number. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. Let's move on to step 6. And step 6 will be to create a function to teach our JavaScript program about operators. So step 6, create a function to teach our JavaScript program what operators are. All right, so from here, our operators are going to be the division, multiplication, subtraction, plus, yeah, the bang operator, exactly. And that's going to be all of our operators. So function is operator. It's going to take in a value. And then we're going to make sure it takes in the values that we would like it to take in. And it'll need to equal either the division. Let me push down my monitor because I can't see. All right. Either the division, either the value is going to be a plus sign. Value is going to either be multiplication, or the value is going to be division. No, subtraction I meant. That's the last one that's left. Yeah, so division plus multiplication and subtraction. Perfect. All right, so now our equation should know what a number is and what an operator is. Should not be getting that confused whatsoever. So let's add in some of our functionality now. It is not a number, exactly. Exactly. All right, so let's go ahead and add in the functionality that we want. So I know we haven't been up here in a while, but we've created our functions or our functionality for the AC button, the plus minus button, the decimal, the multiplication, just to say that it is an operator. And this is basically what the operation is, which is a asterisk. And if we go down here, we're stating that an asterisk is a part of our operator. So that should be an operator. And yeah, we've also done our division. So now we're setting, if you click on a number, what does that do when you click on numbers? So when you click on numbers, this one was so confusing for me. Like, I was on this problem for a while because I'm like, I want a certain functionality that's not doing what I'm asking it to do. I'm probably gonna be on this for a little while, but anyway, we're gonna figure this out together. I mean, I've already figured it out, but I'm just saying, like, it took me a little while. So else if, we're gonna add another if. So I know this is so many ifs. I know the last time I did this on the Dev Noir site or Dev Noir channel, a few people were like, just move to switch statements. And I'm just like, look, I'm gonna do this the way I want to do this. Anyway, I don't know how to do it with a switch statement, so we're gonna do it with an if. So if current entry, first of all, let's not write any code because that's the mistake I made the first time I tried to do this. So let's write out our use cases. So if your display shows a 0, so let me show you this. I had to kind of like use my calculator so many times to try to figure out what I meant by this. So if you notice, the default number is always 0. But as soon as you press a number, the 0 is replaced with the actual number that it was clicked, the number that was clicked. So when I saw that, I'm like, okay, the very first state should be if the display already shows a 0. So if 0 is displayed, replace the 0 with button clicked, basically. So I created this use case. So if current entry equals triple equals 0, or equals 0, you can use that too. I want the current entry to equal button clicked, right? So that made sense to me. The second use case that I wanted to make sure of is this one. We're gonna add another comment here, and we're gonna put if numbers are already displayed, we want to add to the display area, if that makes sense. So let me give you an example of that. So if we have 3 already here, let's say I put in a number 2, right? But I haven't clicked on an operator, I haven't clicked on equals, I haven't clicked on anything else. But I want to add more numbers. As soon as I press another number, it adds it to the display area. So I want to make sure that whatever I create lets, I guess, my program know, hey, you already have numbers in here. Do you want to add them to the current entry because you didn't press a plus or a minus or any operation? You probably want to add that to your current display area. So that's basically what I'm creating this use case for. So if numbers are displayed, add to the display area. So else current entry plus equals button click. So that adds to the display area and whatever you already typed in. So to me, this was perfect. However, this was not it. I had to add more to this, but we're going to do that a little bit later. I feel like we need to nail this use case first before we start adding any other kind of functionality to it. So is number is defined. Now let's define is operator. So when it's an operator, remember is operator takes in a few values, and those values have to be a division, a plus, a asterisk for multiplication, and a subtraction, right? So when you think about that, what I want to do is just what I did up here when I was creating the operators. We want to make sure our previous entry equals the current entry. You already got that. And then our operator or operation will equal button clicked. So whatever we clicked on, we want to make sure our operation equals that, because we're going to be using this operation thing later. So that's probably why that's why we're grabbing it so many times. The operation equals button clicked, and then our current entry, remember we don't want to reveal what we clicked. We're going to make the current entry equals empty string. All right. So if this doesn't make sense right now, don't worry about it, because I know it kind of is like, what? Trust me, I said the same thing when I was first like trying to figure all this out. I'm like, I have no idea. But it will make sense when we start finishing everything out. So let's just keep going. It will make sense, I promise. So let's finish out the rest of our buttons. So we are missing our equal, and we're missing our percent. So let's keep going. Else if, doing a whole lot of else ifs. So else if button clicked triple equals our percent sign. Let me get some water. See, I need my fan. All right. So else if button clicked triple equals percent, what we're going to do from here is take our current entry and divide it by 100. All right, so that's self-explanatory. I'm not going to explain that. Just divide things by 100 to make it a percent, just like you'll do in a calculator. And then our last else if is the equal. Now this is where we're going to be using that operation that we kept grabbing in all those other ones. So else if button clicked triple equals the equal sign. Whew. All right, so for this one, what we're going to do is set up our equation to calculate the equation. Whatever, you'll get it. So we're going to take the result, Remember, we already set the result up here to 0, but our result will now equal this operation thing. So we're going to create a function called operate. So operate, can't type. Okay, so operate will take in the previous entry, it'll take in the operation, and it'll take in the current entry. So the same thing that we set up earlier in our discussion at the very top, up here, we're going to take in our previous entry, our operation or operator. Wait, why did I name operator there? Maybe because that is confusing. Oh, I remember. I used operator later on. So let's keep it as operator. I don't want it to be the same. Then we have our current entry, and then we have our result. So the operate will take that same thing in, and let us continue on. Yeah, so it will take in that, and our operation, let's set that equal to null. And our current, because we don't want to grab that operation, we want the operation to come from here. So current entry will equal the result. Because as soon as we get that result, we want it to be displayed right here in the display value. So the current entry will equal the result. And that should be it for that. So remember, every time we create an actual function, we'll need to go down here and create the functionality for that function. So step number 7. Let me get some water. I should have brought some tea and some chips and some other foods, oxtails. I'm getting hungry. Talking about this code. Sheesh. All right. So step 7 is create a function to teach your JavaScript program how to calculate an equation. All right, so function operate. I'm gonna call it operate. Why do I keep spelling it like that? Operate, and operate will take in the first value. It'll take in the operation, and it'll take in the second value. All right, let me scroll up because I can't see everything. Perfect. All right, so function operate, it'll take in all of these values. Set that as parameters. So from here, I want to make sure we convert all of our current entry. I want that to be converted into an actual float, because right now these are all strings. So I will need to convert all of these entries, or these the current entries, what I wrote up here, previous entry and current entry. I want to convert that into strings. So A needs to be converted into a string, and B also needs to be converted into a string. Boom. Okay, so from there we can go ahead and create a switch statement. So this is where I took their advice, because when everyone's like, oh, make a switch statement, because at first I made this using if, and they're like, Lenora, just make a switch statement. Now this one I actually was able to make a switch statement with, but the very first one I'm like, this is confusing. I don't know how to make this into a switch. So anyway, I'm going to show you switch statements using this smaller operate function. So switch, and we're going to use the operation that we already set so many times before. And within the case of the plus sign, I want to return A plus B. And then we're going to break. All right, let me scroll back up so I can actually see, so I won't keep making all those mistakes. And then in the case of the subtraction, I want to return A takeaway B. And then I want to break. In the case of the asterisk, I want to return this. Like, when I was doing it like this, I'm like, oh my god, this is so much easier. Like, everybody can understand this, because it's so, like, certain parts of JavaScript you're just not gonna understand. It's like, what the hell. But some of it is like, wow, this makes so much more sense. So return A asterisk B, or A times B, and then we're gonna break. And then for the case of the division, we're gonna return A divided by B, and then we're gonna break for one last time. All right, so I'm sure this is self-explanatory. I hope I don't have to explain this. I kind of already did, but yeah, within the case of a plus, you actually create an addition equation. In the case of subtraction, create subtraction. In the case of multiplication, you create a multiplying equation. In the case of division, you divide. So that is set. We have our operate function. It's in there. It looks great. It works. So let's save that. And from here, one last thing that we did not do, we created so much functionality. We created our if. Our if knows what to do. However, we never updated our display area. I mean, we updated for the button clicked, but when you press any of these buttons, or you press AC, or you operate, it never takes that result and puts it into the display area. So the final thing that we need to do is create that actual update screen function. So step 8, you can also omit the break if you're using return for the, ooh, really? So that's why it's what is it called? Kind of like, how do I call it? It's kind of telling me to remove it. So yeah, all right, I can do that. Thank you. All right, so that makes it even more simpler. So for step 8, I know we haven't tested anything out. I'm telling you it's gonna break, so there's no point of like testing it right now. Everything's gonna break. But yeah, let's create the update screen. Let me get some water. Ooh. This water should be gone by now. All right, so create a function. Scroll up. Highlight it, yeah. Create a function to display the results to the screen. Without that, it will not calculate, it will not show anything. So the only thing it will basically do is what we already told it to do, which is show whatever button that we clicked and put it up there in the display area. That is not what we need for the final round. We need calculations, we need more. So let's go ahead and do that. So in this function, we're going to call it update screen. And that will take in our results. So remember, up here in our if statement, we have a result, and that result is using an operate function, and then it operates down here. What we want to do is take in that result And from there, we'll create a variable called display value. And remember, we've already created a display up at the very, very top there. But we want to make sure that display turns our result into a string. So we're turning it back into a string. So remember, before we turned everything into an actual number or a float, we're turning it back into a string because we want to plop it up there in the display area. So from here, we're going to take that display.value. So remember, I just want to show you so you can remember where we're getting all these things from. We have our variable here called display. We're going to grab that display and set the value to equal display value. So we just created up there, which is our translated or converted number, converted string. And then we're going to set the substring to start at 0 and end at 6. I love VS Code sometimes. Like, do you see that up there? Like, it gives you exactly what a substring is. It explains to you what we'll be doing with it. So I'm creating a substring because right now our input field can take in an infinite amount of numbers. But remember, when we were first setting up our input field, we wanted to keep it at a number. I guess we wanted to keep it as taking in 6 values. So if we look at our calculator, I want to give you an example. If we look at our calculator, we can type in a good 6 numbers like so, and it has a little comma. We're not doing that comma thing. I mean, you all can do that for homework, but yeah, basically you create that little you can set up at least 6 values within your display value area without it falling off the actual screen. But if we add more numbers, the font actually gets smaller. And then once it gets smaller, it will basically end off at how many numbers this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 numbers. So that's as far as you can go. You cannot type in any more. I can't. Okay, you can't type in any more numbers after that. Okay? We're not using that use case. We're not focused on that use case of adding multiple numbers, making the font size smaller. No, that's another edge case. We're not here for that. What we're going to be doing is focused on just those 6 values for now. For homework, you all can definitely go in there and have at it. So yes, we're going to have our update screen here. And from there, we can go ahead and add in everywhere that we'll need to update the screen. So we'll definitely need to update the screen after our operation is done. So after that equal sign is pressed, we'll need to update the screen. And we'll need to update that screen with the result. Just like so. Yes. So from here, what I really want to do is, let's set this to result for now. Because right here, we already basically put current entry will equal result. So whatever our current entry is, even if we didn't set anything else, it would always equal the result. So update screen will equal result after all of our if statements are done. The other area that we'll need to update, hold on, wait. Ain't nobody got time for that. No, ain't nobody got time for that. Like, no. Y'all didn't come here for all that drawn out edge case stuff. So, yeah. The other area that we'll need to update our screen is up here. Update screen result. And I want to update our screen here because if we click on any button, I want to make sure that it updates our screen with whatever button that we clicked on. Even though we have this display value button clicked here, we want to make sure we also are calling our update screen early on in our JavaScript program, just in case we do something different. So to catch all use cases, make sure you update screen in every area that you'll need to update the screen. So this should be ready to test. Some things will break, but I'm gonna show you. So let's test this out. So if we go back to our if statements, we go back to our if statements and we press 2. Already broken. All right, so let's go and look at our inspect here and see what's wrong. No console.logs anywhere. All right, so let's go ahead and put a debugger in. Already gotta do a debugger. Because right now our screen isn't updating, so something's up here. Let's make sure our ending is there. All right, let's save it. All right. Result. Display value undefined. Display value is undefined. Result is 0. What is it here? 0. Okay, so we're keeping this. All right, I'm thinking this is the problem right here. Let me get me some water. Ooh, it is hot. Miami will have you sweating. All right, let's remove the debugger. And I'm thinking right here is the issue, because I'm saying result, and I was kind of like iffy on that, because I'm like, I believe we need to be taking in this current entry. Because just in case we didn't click on the equal sign, you'll still need to update the screen for current entry in other areas. So you're not always going to be clicking the equal sign whenever you finish things off. So I want to try this and see if this works. Perfect. All right, so it was the current entry here. Yeah, remember I kind of stopped there and I'm like, I don't remember putting result here. And the reason why I did current entry here is because let's say I just type in the number 2. I want to be able to update my screen to show the number 2. I'm about to take the jacket off, but I know people get offended, so I'm trying to keep it on as long as I can. But I am like, I feel the sweat balls just rolling. Oh gosh, just trying to be conservative or whatever. All right. We can just bear this a little while longer. I'm about to just pour the water on my face. Whew. All right. So yeah, if I click on another number and I don't press enter, I want to still be able to display whatever my current entry is. So let's go back and test this out. So let's say we click on 2 and we click on AC. That should turn whatever number back into the 0 as a result. Let's say we press 2 and press the negative sign. Why are people offended? I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. I've gotten in trouble quite a bit. How do I say this without saying the wrong thing? I had a few managers, like a lot of managers, go on my social media and have meetings with me and let me know, hey, Lenora, you're showing too much cleavage. You're representing a company now. You need to make sure you cover yourself up to make sure, you know, you're still a good reflection of the company. And I'm like, have you ever been to Miami? Have you ever walked into Miami's streets and had on a lot of clothes? Even if you're sitting in your house, like, it gets hot. So you're gonna need a fan, you're gonna need air conditioning, you're gonna need all that stuff. So I was just kind of like, how about you just don't watch my stories? because I'm not gonna cover up for like stupid reasons. I mean, I get it. I am representing a company, and I ask them like, what if I take this down? What if I say I don't work for who I work for? What if I just put Lenora Port and like, oh, they can just still look you up on LinkedIn and see. Okay, so yeah, I end up blocking everyone because I'm just kind of like. I'm not, yeah. So let's just go ahead and block y'all since you get offended by that. Anyway, let's go back to this. So if you press a number 2, like so, and you press the negative or positive, it turns into a negative, or you press it again, turn it back to a positive. If I press the %, it turns my y'all confused. Wait, let me read what y'all said. Okay, so let's talk about that. I am not the brand ambassador. I am not a spokesperson for whatever company I work for. I am the designer. So I don't need a clear image for that. However, you know, that's just how things are. If you are working for a company and you say you work for that company, or you're posting that you work for that company anywhere, then they automatically basically just say, hey, look, you're a representation of us now. Whatever you do outside of the company is still a reflection of us, and you need to clear that up. Yeah, I just feel like it's just another form of gatekeeping. So whatever. You're always going to be an issue, especially being a woman in tech, or a Black woman in tech, or anything else, because even if you're not in tech, you're still going to have the same issues. So yeah. All right, so let us practice typing in an equation. Let's try out our equations now. So let's put 2 plus 3 equals 5. Okay, all right, so you got it. It is showing up nicely. Now we have a few use cases where we are not setting our user up for good, basically. So let me go and show you those use cases. So if you're already displaying a 0, you could replace that with a whatever button that you clicked. However, if I go ahead and add more numbers to this and say plus 3 enter equals 225, if I start typing again, it'll just add the numbers here. But usually, if you do that same calculation on the calculator itself, you put 222 plus 3 and equals 225 or 225, and you start pressing another number. Sorry. Press another number. Are you gonna press? Okay. Basically, it would restart the entire calculation and give you a whole new slate. Our calculator doesn't do that. So I stood up like all night trying to figure this one out, because I'm like, oh, an edge case that I didn't think about. Let me go ahead and fix that if I can. Can't wait till you're representing yourself and you're hiring people. Listen. Look, I am definitely on that road. I'm realizing that the kind of image that I'll need to be a Black woman in tech does not line up with who I am. And that's okay, that's fine. So I'm just trying to figure out the best method in order to make that happen, in order to still keep things afloat in my real life without having the corporate backing. There's a lot of people out here though that's still having the corporate backing, and like literally they're doing all type of stuff that to me is worse than, well, okay, nothing's worse. However, it shows a different image than what I'm showing. I mean, I'm talking about drag queens and, you know, things that to me, I feel like are almost in line with who I am, to me, you know, at the same time. Like, they show cleavage, I show cleavage. Like, so what is the difference? But they're allowed and I'm not. I'm just confused. But yeah, I'm not saying that's okay or anything like that. It's just I'm noticing the difference and I'm just trying to figure out a way for me to leave tech, however, still do tech. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. Most of the designers that I know, the ones that I've met in the real world, they all own their own thing. They're not working for a company. And I love it. I'm like, to see how they wake up in the morning and just do their own thing and like have clients and all. I want to be there. But it will definitely come. It will come in due time. But yeah, let's go back to this edge case. So remember, if I calculate something and I want to recalculate something else, it doesn't do that. It just adds to the number that we already have, and we do not want that to be the case. So what we need to do is go back to that is number area up there. And remember, we only set 2 use cases. So if 0 is displayed, replace the 0 with button clicked. So it does that. So if you have 0 already inside of the display area, it replaces it. Boom, replaced. It does it correctly. Else, if numbers are displayed, add to the display area. So that's basically what it was doing. If numbers are already displayed, it adds to it. We told it to do that. However, we didn't think about that use case where you want to reset the equation. So, what I did was I added an or here. I said, or if a result is displayed already, you can reset the number. So when I added this or, I went into our if statement here. I added our or, and if current entry equals the result, or I guess I can just put equals, but whatever, equals the result, then at that point, you would basically reset the current entry or make the current entry the button clicked. So let's test that one out. So let's refresh. And let's say 23 plus 2 equals 25. All right, so let's see if it does it. If I press 3, yo, I was up all night trying to figure that one out. I was like, look, we're gonna get this edge case working. So if you press another number, it works. It resets the value, or it resets the equation. So boom, you're able to calculate a new thing after you've already pressed enter. So there's one more thing that we are not doing, and when you press on an operator, it doesn't change colors. Let me show you what I mean. So on our real calculator, if we press the plus sign actually changes. Let me see if it'll show. It actually changes. Whatever, it changes to a white button. So let's set that up. This will be the last thing, so don't think y'all be here forever. So yeah, let's go down to operators. So is operator, we're gonna add a little update here. It is operator, and we're gonna put btn. So that's whatever button that we clicked. That button, if it is an operator, we're gonna add a class of active. All right, so right now our style does not have an active style in it, so we'll need to create that. And let's go to our style. All right, and let's create our active style. So why is this making this color? Whatever. Okay, so our background color would be this orange. Let me grab that. I mean, it'll be white. Yeah, it'll be white. And then our font will be whatever the orange color is. So let me just grab that because I don't have it on hand. Boom, perfect. Just to show you what I was doing, let me move my little thingy out the way so you can see. I was just grabbing that color right there. Yeah, I'm gonna move me back. All right. Oh wait, it didn't show. I'm still getting used to this OBS thing, so perfect. I was just grabbing that little color right there. So let me move myself back. All right, so cool. Let's place that color in there. All right, now we can save it. And now it should add the button class of active, whatever we are clicking on it is operator. So let's refresh this and type in a number and then click on an operator. All right, so this is great. However, it's still not done because when we click on another button and we press enter, that plus sign just stays there, all white and orange. We'll need to remove the what is it called? I guess the active state once we click on the enter or equal button. So what I did was I created a function for that because I'm like, I'd rather just have a function that just takes care of that. I don't feel like creating that in an if statement. Hey, Alex. Welcome. Nice seeing you here. All right, so I created the function, and this function will basically remove the active state. So function remove active operator. Now, you don't have to do it like this. I'm sure there's some kind of toggle method that will handle this way better than this, but it's what I did. So remember, we have 4 operators. We have a division, a multiplication, subtraction, and a plus sign. What I want to do is iterate over all of them and make sure none of them have an active state on them. Take it all away. So remember, when we're iterating over multiple, I guess, elements, we'll need to do a loop or for each, what we did earlier at the very top there. So remember, we already, I don't think we've set our operator yet. So yeah, we did not. So let's go ahead and do that. Let operator equal document.query selector all, and we're going to name that operator. Now, our HTML does not know that we have operators now, so we need to update our HTML. Go back to our HTML, and whenever we see an operator, we need to add the operator class name to it. So operator for the division sign, operator for our multiplication there, operator for our subtraction, plus sign, we'll need to add our operator, and this is not really our operator, it's just the equal sign. So that should be it. Perfect. So now we can select our operator. And remember, like I said, our operator, there's 4 of them. So operator, oh wait, since it's multiple, we're gonna put a little s on there, plural. Operators, since we're selecting more than one. So operators for each, and that will grab one operator. And then from there, we're gonna remove the class list or class active. All right. So we're gonna add this remove active operator whenever we press our equal sign, if we press our equal sign, I would love for our operator to remove any active state. So we're gonna do it there. Let's copy that again. We're gonna do it if we press the AC. We're gonna do it if we press plus minus. I mean, we don't have to do it there, but whatever. I want to make sure other use cases are already taken into account that if we press a plus or anything like that, I want to remove the operator. Honestly, you shouldn't be doing anything with the operator here. So we can remove it, but you never know our users. Our users, they do what they want. So we can take advantage of that and add it there just in case, or we don't have to add it at all. But I'm going to show you how it looks without it. So let's refresh. So if I go to 23 plus 2 and we press our equal, it removes it. So now it works exactly the way we were intending it to work. However, we were like in the middle of an equation, we pressed 23 plus, and let's say we're like, oh no, never mind, I didn't mean this. Let me go ahead on and clear that out. It doesn't clear the button. So that's why I added that here. So just in case we were in the middle of something, or our user was in the middle of something and they were trying to calculate something like so, 23 times 5. Oh, wait, I did the entire calculation, sorry. If we were trying to do something and we pressed the multiplication, but we were like, oh no, never mind. Oh wait, that doesn't work. Why does that not work? Yeah, that doesn't work. So our plus works. Okay, and our subtraction works. Our division does not work. Oh, let's see what's wrong. So our multiplication has the operator function. Our division has the operator function. Ooh, let's see what's wrong. Let's go ahead and open up our inspect tool. And we probably need to add in a debugger. Oh wait, I gotta keep that up because I'm in the way. Let me get some water. I thought I was gonna be done. Clearly, I'm not. I ran into another bug. That's the thing about doing a calculator. There's so many edge cases that you have to consider. All right, let's add in a debugger. We can, let's add it in. Let's add it in our multiplication sign. Debugger. All right. Oh wait, you know what? I think no, I don't know. Never mind. All right, so let's add in a debugger here. Cool. All right, so our X is clicked for sure, and it never takes on our active state. Is operator, where's is operator? Is operator is right here. Okay, so you know that you're an X. Yes, you are fully aware, but you're not adding the active state there. btn class list active, but you're not adding it. Wow. Other ones added. Let me see what happens when we click on the plus. So we click on plus. Let's go to is operator. Come on. Okay, now it's not doing the hover. Okay, let's add a debugger in for our plus so it can tell us. Where's our plus? Don't you just love when things break while you're trying to do in tutorial? Do I even have the plus? Did I ever even consider the plus? Wow, I never realized that. I didn't do plus or minus. Tisk tisk tisk. I didn't, yeah. Well, let me just do it down here. Let me just put the debugger here. Alright, so if I put... Okay, cool. So let's see. Is operator... Oh my gosh. Still not doing it. Ugh, I don't know. I don't know why it's not catching this debugger here. Let's try to add it in our operation right here where the case is. Maybe that'll do it. Alright. Let's add inspect. Okay. Okay. 2 plus... Oh, now it's not hitting the debugger at all. You know what? I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know why it's not taking it. Alright. That's probably gonna be something I gotta figure out later. These work though. So that's good. It's not removing itself anymore. Here. Let's do it here. Remove itself from there. Alright, let's save. Why is it not removing itself? Oh, when I press enter. Okay. Okay. Times, yeah, time's not working. I'm sorry, y'all. I thought about that. I'm like, is it because I have the asterisk? But I thought I set the asterisk. Yeah, I set the asterisk here. So if the button is the X, the operation is asterisk. And then when you go down to the switch statement, the asterisk is A times B. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm sure there's something wrong that I did. I'm positive. Alright, yeah. I'll have to figure that out later. I've been on here way too long anyway. Let me see what time. Oh, an hour, 33 minutes. I thought this was gonna be a 30-minute one. Wow. I mean, shoot, I'm already here, so I might as well keep on debugging. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, I know. I don't know why it's not working. It has an operator. It has an operator on it. Active state is not being associated. Let me see if I put toggle instead of add, because I was doing add before. So the bug is basically when I press on the X, it doesn't highlight. It doesn't place the, what is it called, the active state on there. But if I press the plus, it does it. And if I press the subtraction, it does it. Now that's a bug too, clearly. But when you press it with the X, it doesn't highlight and it doesn't do it for the division. I put the button class list. I had add before. And it's supposed to add the active state. and active state is over here, but it doesn't add it for the multiplication or the division. So I'm thinking there's something that I did wrong somewhere that I did not do for the plus and the minus, because those work perfectly. The only thing that I'm like, those two are the only ones that have the weird sign. So you're probably right. It is like literally the only two that has different signs on them. Let me just see. Let me see. If I come up here. You know what? You remember when we were trying to figure out why I made this operator here and then operation down here? Let me just see something. Cause that, I mean, who knows? Let's just try. Let's just try. No, that didn't work. Okay, so I don't know. 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 Where is button click getting set? Button clicked is set up here in the if statement. So for our x, our button clicked is, if button clicked equals x, our operation is the asterisk, and our current entry is empty string. And even for division, the same thing. The operation is that little slash. And then operation down here, value is slash plus asterisk or takeaway. And then operation is also passed in here. Oh, operation is going to be x here for our is operator. Or for the case. You see, tell me. All right, yeah, let's try that. Let's try to log out all the codes. Now, let's open up our, see, that's why I kept it in here. Our button clicked right here. All right, debugging live while I'm hot. Look, stains already. I'm telling you, I'm hot. All right. So let's press, okay. So you clicked X. You clicked division. All right. Let me also log out operation here. Console.log operation. Let's do that for here too. As you're calling is operated on button click. But button click is getting set to the inner text, which is not. Oh, that's what you're trying to tell me. Okay, so if I set this to X and then this to the division sign, let's grab that because I don't know how to make that. Where is that division sign? If I set it to our division sign, we already kind of like translated it up here, so it should work the same for the operate function, hopefully. Let's see. Okay, so you clicked X, and then we console.log operator. Maybe I'm not understanding what you're trying to tell me. Because you're calling is operator on button click. Click is getting set to this the inner text, which is X, not asterisk. Maybe I gotta change the case too. Let's see. I mean, let's change this. I know. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I didn't check this last night. Damn. All this trying, and I didn't check that. I didn't check the multiplication in the division. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, my loves. I don't know. I'm gonna call this one an L. Because this is all a part of the journey. I'll try a little bit more, but I'm telling you, I am not gonna keep trying. Like, if we hit 2 hours, Lenora logging off, okay? Lenora's gonna say, look, I don't know. Show you the if statement. The if statement is here. Boom. Should I change this operator to X too? Let's try that. And then go back down here. Operator. Here. Next. And I'm guessing it gets the division thing gets done correctly here in the switch statement. Let's just see. Let's see. Okay. I'm about to fight. I'm about to fight this thing. Okay, so now operator is thing. Yeah, I'm about to fight this thing. Times 2. Go to line 50 where you set operation to button click. Oh, that's what y'all trying to tell me? Line 50. Okay. Wait, that's not it then. Oh, right here, 59. Okay, so I set operation to button clicked. All right, but when I set it to button clicked, it should hit the button clicked. If button clicked equals this, then operation should be whatever it is. I mean, we can try this again. Yeah. It should be that. No? Okay. All right. Cool. So as soon as we go into our operate, and it takes in the operation, whatever the operation is. Yeah, this is basically why I kept it as divide and asterisk. Yeah, I'm basically like putting this back. Log both of those out and see if the operation is the button sign or the JS operator. Let's do it. Didn't I do that before? Edit. I guess I don't remember where I wrote it. whatever. I'll just write it again. So we're logging. Oh, here. Where am I setting the active state? I'm setting the active state on the class. So here is our active state. And then I'm setting that here when you go to, well, when you click on a button that is an operator, I'm setting that or adding it to the class list. Here. I need some more water. Okay, so you said log both of those out. They are already being logged out. We're logging out the operator for X and the operator for the division sign. So when you press X, you clicked X, and then the console.log is the asterisk. And you click on X, which is the operator. So it's correct. And then when you go down to is operator, it does not have an asterisk now. So if value is asterisk and value is division, so when you press X, X is the asterisk, you press division, division sign is the operator, and then this is the inner HTML. Okay. And then when you go through here, yeah. And you log the result of is operator for those buttons. What do you mean by that? What you want me to do? Console.log is operator? I mean, that's a function. I don't know what you're trying to tell me to do. I don't know. I don't know why this isn't working, y'all. I really, really don't. Operator. Class list. Move. Active. Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure I'll figure this out later, though. Because right now, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe this would be a part 4. I fixed the button. It works. Let me show y'all how to fix it. Yeah, y'all. I don't know. I'm gonna go with I don't know. And that's okay. That's okay not to know. Is the HTML updating? Let's see. Let us see. So we're on, let's say we're on division and we click on the division. It is not. And if we click on the X, it is not. But if we click on here, it is. Okay, so all right, Sean, we down the right path. Now we found the culprit. So it's probably not even dealing with the X or the operator. It's dealing with not adding the class. Okay. So if it's not adding the class, let's add a debugger here, because this is basically where we're adding. Let's do it after. This is basically where we're adding in the class. Y'all got me debugging, y'all. Like, gosh. Y'all got me debugging on live. Okay, X. Oh, it didn't hit it. Okay, let's put it above it then. Oh, did I even save it? I don't even know. Save it, refresh. All right. It's not hitting the debugger. It was hitting the debugger before. Okay, let me just Command Z back to where we were before, because right now I don't even remember what I did differently now. Let's see. Did that? Let's keep that in. No, let's remove that now. Yeah, so we were here creating. I'm gonna just go back because now I don't remember what I did differently. Okay, perfect. So we are here creating this remove active thing. Okay, let's start here. And that's when it wasn't working, but this one worked. Cool. Wait, for some reason is operator button clicked is returning false for those two buttons. Shit. I'm already like went back now. Let me see. Fuck it. We gonna keep going because we've kind of realized that our HTML isn't updating, and that's probably more the problem than the buttons. We like literally did everything with the buttons. So if I click the division and it never updates, but if I click this, it does. All right. So let's add the debugger here. I kind of want to see what it does. Damn, it's literally not hitting the debugger. If I add breakpoint, nah, not here. My God. Okay. So you're just not gonna hit this button here. Let's put it here. Okay, so you're only gonna hit it if I press. Okay. All right. So there's a reason why it's not even hitting. So you might be right. You said the button is operator button clicked is returning false. Those two buttons. All right, let's see. So if I click, okay, it's showing up correct here, but not showing up. I hit this. Yeah, okay. So maybe there's something with that. Let's console.log. Button clicked here. All right, so if we hear that, okay, yeah, it's not catching this subtraction here. Why isn't that working? Console.log button clicked. You're right. So yeah, that is not working, and it is undefined. Damn, are you doing this while I'm doing it? All right, so that's not working. Console.log button clicked. Why are you not picking up? So when I am on button clicked equals this. Let me button click, button click, button click. There's something that's different. Button click. Oh, okay. Try logging the value of button clicked when the button is clicked. Yeah, I guess that's basically what I was doing here. So if the button's clicked up here, it logs it correctly. So when it was up here on the event listener, try logging the value of button. Yeah, on the event listener. So when we were here, we pressed X, it worked. And division worked. Somewhere down here, it just stopped. So if I do a console.log button click here, okay, so it's still correct. And if we do one for the division, okay. So as soon as it gets to operator, it just goes crazy. And when it goes into here, it just doesn't even show up. So plus shows up. Oh wait, is this still working now? Console.log button click. This was not showing. Got our button console.log here. See if the values are true. The else if on line 54 the else if on line 54 is not going to run because it's first running on line 36 when button. Oh, because it's first running on line 36. When button clicked equals X. Interesting. My entry. I mean, maybe move the logic from the if statement on line 54 to the if statement on line 36. Really though? Cause like this down here, this equation is only here if numbers are displayed. So if there's already something in the because this is for is number button click. While we're like focusing on line 56. Okay, so you're saying move the else if to line 36. Okay. So you want to move this whole thing. Okay. And you want to move that up to line 36. I guess before it. Let me see what you say before I do anything, because I'm like, I'm not following. I'm not here. I'm trying to see like what you mean. What you mean? Because you're saying like it never even gets to this is operator, I guess. Let me just do it. All right, removing this up here, line 36. Oh, into the actual if statement. Okay, so we're moving it here. But what we're gonna do about division then? Are we gonna put it in there too? All right, so now this turns into an if. This moves over. Okay. And I guess we're gonna add that to, you're clicking the button and getting to line 36. Where button clicked equals X. That's where your code runs. It doesn't check for is operator button clicked after. Okay. Okay. So that means I don't have to do this for I have to do this for division 2. I guess we won't really need this anymore. All right, let's see. All right. Else if button click. If is operator. All right. Let's just put a debugger down here and see. Let's refresh. And if I press, oh, it doesn't even hit it. If I put debugger here instead of there, refresh. All right, we hit the debugger. All right, else if button clicked X. X, X. Active button clicked is X. All right. Try running it. I didn't. Maybe if I put debugger here and C. X, don't hit it. So only hit it if change is operator button clicked to is operator operation. Right. Operation. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Okay. We're on to something. You don't need the is operation if you. Oh, okay. I mean. Okay. Are you sure? Okay. Oh, okay. Because I'm just like. Operation is not defined. All right, let's change it back to button click. Okay. Are you sure we won't need? Okay, so we won't need is operator. You don't need the is operator if you're simple, not that. Okay. It's always a symbol and not the operator. So for addition and subtraction, the symbol is the same, but for the other two, button clicked is okay. So operator then, or operation. Yes, I agree. Totally agree with that. Okay. But now there's like no, get rid of that if. Yeah, I'm like we don't need the if statement because this doesn't make sense. Okay, so the if statement is gone. I guess we don't need this either. Yeah, let's get it up. Okay, so I guess we don't need the operation either. Go back to before you move the code to the other code. Y'all confusing me. All right, are we changing this to operation? Oh well, I guess yeah. This. All right. So. Wow. Okay. Oh my god. Oh, let me get some water. I am stressed. Mob pairing session, okay? My Jesus. Yeah, I just got your message. It said, yeah, I got rid of it already. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I did. Cool. Yeah, y'all messages coming in now. But oh, this doesn't work because we don't have all that stuff in there. But is it really, I don't think it's gonna work. Like I don't, okay, let me not say that. Let me just keep going. Let me add that here. Listen, don't be putting no exclamation. I'm just playing. You can put exclamation, that's fine. Okay, yeah, I ran it, y'all. I ran it. Like, jeez. Oh, let's put it here. Let's put it visual. I don't think it's gonna. Okay, so now that works, but I don't think it's gonna work when we do a calculation because it don't know that it's an operator now. Let's see. Okay, so 2 times 2. See, it doesn't know that it's an operator. It works, but no, it doesn't know that it's an operator. Cannot read property toString of undefined. So now our result is, yeah, something's going on with our result. Bruh. Bruh. Operate previous entry, operate current entry. Alright, so something's going wrong. It says toString. This is line 102. 102 result. Yes, so our result is toString and it is undefined. Okay. Yeah, now it doesn't know that it's an operator. Maybe I can add its operator back somewhere somehow. So where's my my brain is fried. Like, I'm glad this button works and all. It looks great working and everything. Oh wait, now these are not working? Bruh. Yeah. Okay, yeah, no. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this, you know? It was working fine without, you know, this X and this division sign just trying to take a hold of everything. So it has been, how long has it been? We are going on 2 hours. No, we are going on 2 hours. This is long enough. We will revisit this, okay? Let's say we're gonna revisit this later. I will practice. I will try to figure out what's wrong. But as of right now, my mind is fried. Let me see. Manually adding the class is cool, but reading the btn value is btn value to see if an operator is yeah, fried brain. Okay, but reading the btn clicked or button clicked value to see if it's an operator is going to return false for the multiplication and division. All right, so if that's the case, let's keep it the way it is and then figure out how to make it work for all of the buttons. Give me like a day, okay? because btn is x and percent, but the operators. Okay. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's keep it like this. We're in a good direction at least. From here, we could figure out the rest. I will definitely come back on. If I get it before the night's out, you know what? I was supposed to go somewhere. Dang it. Okay, if I figure it out before the night's out, I'm gonna go ahead and come back and present to you all the findings. Because I already missed an appointment I was supposed to be going to. So yeah. Let's go ahead and end this live stream. This 2-hour long live stream. And I'll come back to this to make it work. So see y'all later. Thank you all for live mock pairing with me. This was fun. And yeah. See y'all soon, because I'm sure I'm gonna be up all night trying to figure this out. So bye.